And we are live. I want to thank everyone for tuning in to a very special edition of Off the Record on the People's Podcast this evening. We have three rap icons and great producers and performers that are blessing us with their presence tonight. They're going to give us some amazing information as well as inspiration. And that is none other starting off with our big brother, none other than Big Lee holding it down. First of all, how are you doing, sir?
Good man, thank God. Praise is due to Allah. I'm here, brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And also to Mo the Hustler. Can you please show greet everybody?
Yes, sir. How y'all doing out there, man? I'm doing good.
All
Chilling.
right.
Oh,
And last but certainly not least, none other than Reesematik. How are you doing, sir?
oh, I'm doing good, man. How y'all doing? My brothers, Big Lee, Mo Hustle, and
Perfect. Perfect.
Mr. Muhammad. I'm sorry about that, good brother. I'm sorry about
Yes,
that, man.
sir. No, it's all good. Well, the first we're gonna come back to Big Lee because we've heard some of his story, but we want to learn about you all and how this project came about. So we'll start with you, Mo the Hustler. How did you connect with Big Lee on this important project and song?
Well, I met Lee through Reesematik. You know what I
Okay.
mean? I knew him from back in the day, but you know what I mean. As he started kind of getting in his bag with the music and everything, Reese brought it to my attention, and that's how that came about. You know,
Perfect. Yes, sir. And for you, Reese Matic, how did you get a part of the project?
Well, basically, Big Lee is a childhood friend. Been knowing
Okay.
Big Lee since the 1980s. So when
Okay.
he was
Sure.
when he was MC Lee, you know what I mean?
Okay. Okay.
You know what I mean? When he was back on home turf with Dominique, the little neighborhood show that was big, came to our junior high school, Biz Valley Junior High in San Francisco. Um, but other than that, Big Lee definitely been an inspiration to me rhyming, you know what I mean? But I met Mo later in life and pretty much got my wheels like that, started rhyming, and NOH came about. We could elaborate a little bit on that more, but to get back to it, Big Lee have a history of me being, rhyming because my name is formally known as Mac Reese, but it's Reesematik now. So he said he had a record that he think I'd be dope on, and it was speaking about the gentrification. And I thought it was dope, and I heard his message where he's going with it, and I just did my thing, man, and just laced it up. It's a very powerful record that needs to be heard, across the world because it's effective throughout the world, you know. And I'm very excited about this record. And he asked me if Mo would be interested, and I know Mo would be interested because Mo, that's the big bro, that's my mentor. So he got on there and he polished it and closed it out nicely. That's what we do when it had real strong subject matter. And we about create music with substance, and it's a very, powerful record. Like I said, it's very impactful. And I just want to thank Big Lee for this opportunity, to let me and my brother Mo the Hustler, vibe with him on this record.
Yes, sir. Okay. And peace, Naima. Thank you for watching. And shout out to, of course, Yahweh and Milani if she's watching as well. All right. For you, Big Lee, we get the call. They said Sacramento shaking up. Oakland going crazy. Frisco going crazy. The whole West Coast is just going crazy about this song gentrification. How did it get put together?
Yeah, that's crazy. Josh, I'll be trying to search for topics because the type of teachings we got, we can't just be talking about anything. So I was searching for a topic that well, let's take it back a little bit. We all, myself, Motor Hustler, and Reese Matic, we all come from that community. Bayview Hunters Point, San Francisco is a small city. And I know these brothers can vouch for that. Over the last 20 to 30 years, you've seen the black population slowly either get pushed out or leave out the city. So it's to the point where look at myself, like I can't afford to live in San Francisco. I stay about an hour outside of the city. So and sometime when I go back to the city, I go to places that I used to visit as a child that used to be full of us. We're not there no more. And so it's something that always bothered me when I go to the city. I'm like, man, my people gone. If you talk to any common person that's from San Francisco that you knew 20 years ago, if you was to get on the phone with them right now, 9 times out of 10, they're not living in San Francisco no more. they've been pushed to the outskirts of the city. And just to elaborate a little bit more, I want to give a shout out to Mo because I was trying to rap, and this has always been a brother. We go back to junior high school, and he's always had a positive message, and he always was an uplifting inspiration. So he kept tugging at me, doing the music thing. He was kind of pushing at me like, Lee, you can do this, you can do this. So when I finally got the right project, and I was like, damn, okay, I gotta get Mo, and then Reeks, excuse me. Then I've been in the presence of Mo Tha Hustla, who was he's a famed producer from San Francisco. He's had his hand in a lot of projects. So when I got the opportunity to work with him, I was like, oh yeah, this gotta happen. So, but yeah, it's basically just dealing with what we've seen over the last 20 years in San Francisco. I mean, and it's probably in every inner city across the country. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. Okay. Well, the chorus is amazing. The verses are unbelievable, and of course the production. Where can we hear people who haven't already heard it? Because I'm in Atlanta, and the people's podcast reaches all around the world by the grace of God. So for those who haven't started from the Bay Area back down, all the California stuff, how can we get it? Where can we listen to it?
Oh, that's real easy, Josh. You could just go on any streaming platform, Spotify, Tidal, Apple Music, and just type in my artist name is Big Lee. The song is named Gentrified. It's off of an album that I released. It's called name of the album is called We Risk It All. It's just giving a kind of a play on the things that we do as independent artists trying to make it happen. We risk it all. I mean, like I talk to my brother Mo every morning, man. He be on his grind, going to work, 6 o'clock in the morning. We plotting and talking about what the next play is. So we risk it all. But you can find it on any platform under that name, Big Lee, and the song is titled Gentrified. So yeah, definitely give it a check, give it a listen. We got a video coming soon. I'm not gonna say too much on it because it ain't into fruition yet. But when we get the video, I'm gonna be right back at you, brother.
Yes, sir. We look forward to it. The feel is universal appeal, but it's definitely that West Coast that we love to hear, and you go the vibe and everything. We want to start with you, our brother Mo Tha Hustla. How important is it for you? He said you've been uplifting, and for it to be a message in the music, primarily to young people who listen to music about gentrified. Like, why is this song important to you personally?
Because nobody's leaving the message. Nobody's, what I mean? Rap nowadays, nobody's even talking about that kind of stuff. The rap game now, you got a lot of dudes that will probably glorify the hood and say this and that and bring youngsters down. It don't even live in the hood no more. It's been gentrified, but nobody's going to put the spotlight on it. You got cats living in the suburbs for 10, 15, 20 plus years, but they still talking about the hood, And it's like, this song is very important, like for the up and coming artists and everything to, maybe they don't understand the word gentrification. A lot of people don't understand the word gentrification, don't know what it means. And it is very important. It's happening right up under our noses, right in front of our face, right in front of our eyes. I've been watching it forever. Hey, I'm living like almost 50 minutes away from San Francisco. I've been gone looking for something a little more cheaper. And, it's happening right up under our nose. So this song is very important because nobody puts a spotlight on it.
Yes, sir. Okay. Well, my follow-up question for you is, what artists did you come up in being, you said San Francisco, who were some of the artists that inspired you?
It's a lot, I mean, a wide range, but if I want to just kind of stick to the Bay Area, it would be the RBLs, Cool Nuts, the Selskies, JT, the biggest, San Quinn. I'm from that era. So
okay.
It was a point where that was all I listened to was Bay Area music. But if we want to largen the scope, we'll go from Outkast to Ludacris to, we'll go to the East Coast, Redman, Method Man, Wu-Tang, and, a lot of people, like music period in general. R&B, rap, not just rap either. R&B, neo soul, a wide scope of music. I just love music, man.
Yes, sir. Same here. And shout out to JT, the bigger figure, who is an avid supporter of other people's podcasts, and he always steps in. And we got to know each other when he was in Atlanta for a couple years. So, shout
So
out
a
to
lot
him
of
as
them
well.
people in your background, I'm looking at your background,
Oh,
DMX,
yes, sir.
Nelly,
Yes,
I'm
sir.
looking at the background.
Wonderful. And for you, okay, so Reesematik, how did this song, impact you like personally to make you, lay 16 down so smooth? How did it personally affect you?
Uh, it was just very impactful because me, it's a lot of layers to Reesematik. I read a lot. I love documentaries. I just love the whole element of different ways of things, how they used to be, the origin, the beginnings. And being from San Francisco since birth, since the fetus, and you just see the transition, how everything changed, is going to be impactful, effective, because a lot of monumental buildings and businesses have been removed. And you basically just watching things change at a slow but rapid pace right before your eyes. And just walking.
You shouldn't be working on a Sunday.
We can't hear you, sir. Your
Can't
your, your
hear you.
sound went out.
That's home. Like, you know, like I love Frisco, through all from Lakeview, Sunnydale, the Mission, Tenderloin, North Beach. You see the change everywhere. It's like I'm a real SF native. I've lived other places, but the origin, I was born at General Hospital over there off Patrol Street, you know what I mean? Cross street from 24. So it's very highly effective. So I love that record. And to have two of my childhood friends on the record with me
Yes,
and
sir.
witness the change, how it happened, man, it's a blessing just to have this as a memory on the timeline, another notch under our belt, coming with something impactful, and hopefully the folk that's going through the same thing we going through embrace it how we embrace it, because we rep for the have nots. You know what I mean? That's why I rep for the have nots.
Yes, sir. And what are some of the artists that helped inspire you?
Man, that's insane because, first LL, my first album I ever had was in
Okay.
1985 when Radio dropped. And first hip hop legend ever, man. He put Russell Simmons up in that skyscraper. First album released off Def Jam. So I'm gonna start with that side because that's how I got inspired by hip hop, the culture, the Run DMCs with no shoestrings and the Adidas, the fat laces, the big boom boxes. I go back to the element of that. Not to take nothing from the West Coast, but the East Coast was inspired me. So this is my story. So the Big Daddy Kanes, the Eric B. and Rakim, the four finger rings, donkey rope chains, the DJ and the sweatsuits. You know what I mean? The break dance and the graffiti on the walls, subway trains. So I'm an MC. So that's why I touch on it at a whole nother level. I rap is something I do, but I'm an MC. That's how I can touch to the pillars, the element. Just the culture alone, man, I just love it. I love connecting bars. But LL definitely my inspiration that made me want to rap. You know what I mean? First hip hop tape ever, then Too Short to be next because that was
Yeah,
my
yeah,
next first
yeah.
tape. Born the Mac. I had Born the Mac with Freaky Tales and all of that. That was my
Okay,
next.
okay.
So yeah, LL and Too Short, most definitely.
For
But,
sure. And
but
I had the
what?
honor, yes, sir. I had the honor of last week interviewing Russell Simmons on the People's Podcast. He's very humble and very kind man, and hopefully he'll be back soon. And we're working on some artists to get some more artists from the different eras, so that LL Cool J inspired many of us. I knew a different LL Cool J than y'all did. I knew more of the actor LL Cool J. You know what I'm saying? Y'all knew the young.
Yeah.
I knew more of the actor In Too Deep, knocking people out. LL Cool J more than the like ladies man with the gold, all that.
Yeah.
For sure. But okay, for you, Big Lee, the song is hitting. Everybody's gonna be riding to it, listening to it on all platforms, gentrified. But who are some of the artists that helped inspire you?
I gotta say I'm right along. Like we talked before, and I want to thank you because you always show me love on the platform, bro. But you know where I'm at with it. I grew up on Ice Cube. That if I had to
Yes,
think of an
sir. Yes,
artist,
sir.
and I'm like Mo and Reese. It's Bay Area is the sound that kind of paved me because you got E40, like you said, Too Short. Because something about the artists in the Bay Area, they was always giving you the game
Yeah, yeah,
on a
yeah,
hmm
song.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And so I think that's what kind of influenced all three of our music, because we grew
But
up in a
that's what
musical.
made me want to rap. The
Exactly.
Bay Area made me want to rap because it was
It-
close to home. I was seeing people my age and from my hood, and that's what made me want to rap.
exactly.
When I was seeing it hitting close to home, that was it.
Hey, well, hey, Mo, why you gotta tell? Why don't you being humble? Tell them about, because you've been on that stage before. Tell them a little bit about, because you were a part of a group that has some success on that level. NOH
Mm-hmm.
Mafia. If you want to let them know a little bit about you, brother.
Yeah, we was a rap group from the '90s, '96 to be exact. But
Okay.
we was rapping well before that, and it was like our journey. That's what I'm saying. That's what kind of, for me, it was kind of different. I came from Lakeview, moved to Hunters Point, met a lot of Hunters Point cats, met Reesematik, Mally Mal, which stayed on Harbor, which that's where RDO was from. And it was like, to make a long story short, they were like the Jay-Z's of Hunters Point to me.
Yeah.
So, when I seen them make it to where they made it, it really made me want to rap. It really made me want to push. I was seeing it hit close to home. Like Selsky, I'm from Lakeview. Selsky is from Lakeview. Cool Nut is from Lakeview. Like, I was seeing it hit close to home. It was like, no way, I'm fit to make it. It was no doubt in my head I wasn't fit to make
Right.
it. So within those little few years, yeah, we came out with a nice classic album, which came out in '96, well respected out in the city, and it's still ticking to this day. And we done shared the stage with a lot of people. We have met a lot of people, and the album considered classic.
That's right.
Beautiful.
Let me say this real quick, Josh.
Yes,
So when
sir.
you think of San Francisco, 'cause just to the audience, a really small city. Not a lot of black people, but you've heard us say a few times Hunters Point. So when people think of San Francisco, they think of Fillmore, which was kind of known as like the Black Harlem of the West. That's where a lot of jazz musicians. Fillmore was a live district jumping back in the 70s, 60s, and 70s. But then that other part of the city is the Bayview Hunters Point, and that's the area that we kind of grew up in, where they had, like, to give you a little bit of history, they had a naval shipyard there. That's where the atomic bomb was created. That's right in the background of where a lot of blacks came over there, and it's during the wartime. And Hunters Point is that community in San Francisco that you may hear, like the group RBL got a lot of success from that community. Few other groups, a group called 11-5. But when you hear us say Hunters Point, that's just that other staple black community in San Francisco. It's maybe two or three. And majority of them, they've all been torn down and rebuilt. And some of the people that were there aren't there anymore. So that's where kind of it ties into the gentrification aspect. But when you hear these brothers
Yeah.
keep saying Hunters Point or Bayview, that was at one time when we were coming up, that was a strong black neighborhood in San Francisco, probably the strongest outside of Fillmore.
That's why that song is so important now, because it's like a lot of people just kind of move. A lot of those acts are not there no more. A lot of the people are not there no more, and it happened right up under people's noses. And it's like, they tearing down the projects, they building these nice little apartments, and you starting to see, other people kind of walking around, walking dogs and washing cars. It didn't used to be like that. It was like really not safe in a lot of these places for people to be walking, and after dark. And like,
Exactly.
that's what made the raps so authentic back in the day. It was like people really rapping about their lives back in the day. So it's like, so when you hear the music nowadays, and it's like a lot of people been gone. It's like, you talk gentrification, but a lot of these people are out of touch with the hood nowadays.
Exactly.
Nobody's there no more. They
And
talk about it, they misleading the youth,
right.
but nobody's there no more.
And you think about a couple of things that we said. I know, Mo, you mentioned it in your verse, and I mentioned it in my verse. Is I said, they gentrified this. They did it and blamed it all on the homicide. So I remember back in like early 2000, I say around 2005, I remember, I was living in Hunters Point. I never forget, they had an article in the newspaper with about 20 young brothers from the neighborhood, because Hunters Point is broken down of about 5 or 6 different neighborhoods, but all in one big neighborhood. And I never forget, they had about 20 young brothers face in the paper, front page, in the Chronicle, the San Francisco Examiner, I mean. And it said, San Francisco's gang injunction. And I remember going to the mosque at the time and the minister saying, this here is what they're going to use to justify gentrification. So that's why if you hear Mo verse and my verse, I said they did it and blamed it all on the homicides because the brothers was, when we killing each other, we gave them the yellow brick road on how to come into the hood and snatch it from under our feet because they always come in under the guidelines of, oh, we got to clean this up. And so I remember all them young brothers, and I hate to say this because I knew a lot of them when I was like in my early 20s, they had to be like 15, 16. Majority of them brothers that was on that front page, they're not even living anymore. I hate to say that. It hurts me to even bring that up, but they use that, they wrote in that gentrification on the backs of the crime in the neighborhood. So we got to do a better job in our communities as well, is what I'm trying to say.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, for you, Reesematik, we want to know, and thank you, Peace, Mimi as well. Thank you to everybody who's showing love all around the world. For you, being an independent artist, what advice would you give to other artists? Because a lot of people who are coming up now, social media, you can get your own music heard, push the line that way, so you don't necessarily have to have a record label or somebody telling you what to say and what not to say. What advice would you give to the young artists coming up about the value of being independent?
So basically, I would say always in the beginning, you got to have a strong love and passion for the music because it comes with patience. Nothing happened overnight. You got to grind and basically make sure you come with music that has substance as well because you got to realize the type of content you create, that's the type of fan base you're going to have. So I want a fan base that's like, Deja Family, Goody Mob, Outkast. They got loyal
Okay,
fans.
okay.
I know about that DF, Slim Calhoun, you know what I
Yes,
mean?
sir.
Cool Breeze, Witch Doctor, you know what I mean? Backbone. We go on and on, but I could just say they gotta stick to their guns, get around right people that's gonna give them the right information. Don't let nobody, derail your creativity because that's the sauce right there. When you start adding a little bit too much, whatever this and that, that's gonna, take away the ingredients. It ain't, ain't solid no more. So you gotta be driven by the love and the passion for it and be patient. Don't be so eager just to put your signature on something just to say you're a part of something. Because folks are thinking sell you the moon and stars, and you get over there, and next thing you know, you trapped in something you're gonna have to take a whole long time trying to get away from.
That's a
So,
fact.
stick to your guns, stay original. See me, I love the underground. Reese, that's what I like. I said I rap for the have-nots. I'm having fun. I'm like that. That's one main thing about this business. It's business, but when you having fun while you handling business and you put the creator first, you're gonna be all right. Because I'm a
Yes,
patient
sir.
individual. I love this music, and it ain't no stopping, man. Just gotta stay true to you. A lot of folk out here tap dancing. You know what I mean? Tap dancing just to be in front of a camera.
That's
That
right.
ain't gonna be me. You know what I mean? I don't know how to tap dance. I'm gonna leave that to Sammy and Gregory Hines. You
Yeah,
know.
okay, okay.
I'm just
Beautiful.
Reesematik. Always be cooler than a polar bear's toenails. That's me.
Yes, sir.
Uh,
Okay, well, Reese Mac, we want to stay right there with a follow-up question for you about the thank you for, and some people are showing love. Thank you all for every like, share, subscription, every anonymous cash app and super chat. Thank you for all the sponsors. But we wanted to ask you, sir, for you broke down being independent, but for me, being in high school, hip I came when I came up, hip hop was the biggest genre. It was world tours, like the rappers who I looked up to were selling out shows, going diamond, things of this nature. For for you all's generation, it started off. It didn't start off like that. You all got to see the rise of really people like you said, breakdancing, elements, and spray paint, graffiti, all that good stuff. Did you ever note it or think that hip hop would be as big as it is in 2025?
I felt that we have something. You never know until you just see time keep going and going. They be like, I knew. You never know. You got to keep living to see how far something's gonna go. Because everything have an origin story. And at the beginning, involving hip hop, a lot of folks was counting it out. Because back then, rock and soul and disco was ruling. So
Okay.
hip hop blended in with disco was fading out.
Mm.
So hip hop ended up dominating. So a lot of folks started jumping onto that because the hip hop got their look from the street hustlers, the guys in the street. So all them elements started forming, and then once money got involved, then that's when it started losing the sauce and the ego came, and a lot of the love changed because it was just like look at me, look at me. It wasn't about the elements and the content anymore. So I just knew eventually as it started getting more marketable and going more commercial, you see the rise in it, but you also seeing the impurities. You know what I
Mm.
mean? You're seeing the plague coming because they give you all the tools, to get to ruin yourself. So that's why I say you got to learn how to separate them different things and disengage from the things that's against what you represent. It's okay to reflect what you reflect, but be careful of what you reflect. You know what I mean? Because the tongue is deadly, it's wicked, it's evil. So you got to make sure you heading in the right direction when you putting this music out.
Yes, sir. Powerful answer. Thank you very much. We're going back with you, our brother, Motor Hustler. Can you let us know what advice you would give to any independent artist about, staying independent, the value of, owning your own masters and pushing the line and not necessarily having to sign a big contract in 2025?
Man, get to work. It's, you can do what you want to do on your own clock. It's nothing more powerful than that. You sign that contract. It's going to come with a lot of stipulations that you may not be ready to, you know what I mean, to go through. And it go back to like the impurities in rap, like back when they came with the gangster rap, which I think was a plan to kind of derail us. They seen how we was doing back in the day. It was power. Hip hop was powerful. You know what I mean? It is big. It is big, no doubt about it. But it was a way to derail us and kind of like, they take our masters, give us a few dollars, and then they still going through it now. Like people will sell their soul for a couple of dollars, you know what I'm saying? And then you on a 30-year contract that you didn't even read, and they own your masters, and you can't sell merch, you can't do nothing, you can't make no money off nothing. And it's like that's these 360 deals and all that kind of stuff. And it's like you got to read these contracts. I mean, if you up on game and you was up on your business, if you was independent from the gate, then you would kind of see this coming from the gate. So you don't sign no contract. Be independent. Don't sign no contracts unless you understand that contract. If it's going to benefit you to take you to the next level, don't sign that contract. Don't
Yes,
just
sir.
sign anything.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
great. Well, we want to follow up. Same question for you, sir. With hip hop, you being in the beginning time periods of it, especially from the Bay Area and things of that nature, did you ever think that you would see a Super Bowl where it would be rappers primarily from the West Coast headlining the Super Bowl in 2025? You see, like rap is such a big level, right? All these Live Nation tours and things of the nature. Did you ever think you would see that?
That question for me?
Yes, sir.
I knew what it get. I knew it'd get to that. I knew rap was way bigger than what people would have thought it would have been when it was like yeah, Dr. Dre, Jay-Z's like he's running the whole
Super Bowl.
panel of
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Super
yeah.
Bowl and
Yes,
everything.
sir.
Like you had to see this coming. Like it was a lot of powerful. Like I said, if you know what you're doing and you don't sign those contracts, and it was like a handful of people that was kind of slipping through the cracks, becoming billionaires. And it's like you got to see what's happening to these billionaires. They don't, you know what I mean? I don't want to get too far deep into that, but man, you had to see it happening. You had to see it was going to happen, man. It was like we had these people make it when Jay Z made it to the panel. I knew it was going to be more rap. I seen it coming. There was no doubt in my head that it was going to happen one day. I've been watching football, since what? It was the 49ers versus the Dolphins. What year was that? Like
88,
80,
84, 88,
yeah,
something like that.
yeah, something like that. In the 80s. When I seen that Super Bowl, and it was like the halftime shows back then, no, it wouldn't have been. You didn't see no rap like that. But when it started getting to the 2000s, and you started seeing it kind of shift, you know, no doubt in my head, I'll probably do a Super Bowl one day.
That's
Right.
No
it.
doubt in my head. No doubt in my head. I'll probably do a Super Bowl one day.
Beautiful. Manifesting, yes, sir. Powerful. All right.
Yeah.
And for you, Big Lee, I want the same questions. We want to know about advice you would give to independent artists because you put out content every day, always, always music, social media, everything. You inspire me as well as many others. Just like, man, nah, we got to keep going. You got to keep, putting out your content. How you are with music, I am with, of course, pushing the line for my book, but the podcast as well. So it's inspirational to be independent and still keep fighting. What advice would you give to the other independent people, not just in music, but people who have independent do for self mindsets in all aspects of business?
Yeah, definitely. It's interesting. I was having a conversation with a young brother just to show you can learn. It don't matter, the age. I was having a conversation with a young brother who we was talking music, and he was like, Big Lee. He was like, man, I like what you're doing. He said, but check it out. He was like, you need to focus on being a content creator. Don't be a rapper, because he was like, the way the world is going, it's all about your content. So when he said that, a light bulb went off in my head. I was like, yeah, content, or trying to put a visual to something that you're doing. But
Yes, sir.
that's like the avenue I'm going. So you may see me every day on social media, and I kind of like to see Motor Hustler do the same thing. I stay on this because he stayed hitting you with something. If you follow him on Instagram, he got, you think this man is a Jay-Z in his own right, because he got 10 projects up on his page that's just, is going. So you giving the people, you working. So I would say to if I was giving someone some advice, I would say just keep doing content. Whether your song, like I did something that benefited me, and this is how I learned how to play goes. So I had a song I did about a year ago. It was called Front Porch. And I was just messing around on YouTube, and I found a clip. And this clip was about a 40-second clip, and it was showing the populations of black people in each state. So it started from the bottom, like Mississippi, then it would take a step up, and it go to this state, this state, this state. And then it got to the top state with the most black people, which I think wasn't California, it may have been New York. But I took my song, right, and attached it to that reel, right?
Okay.
And that thing got about 8-9 million. That reel got 8 or 9 million views, but my song was on that reel for about a good 40 seconds. So it got to the point where I was going on Instagram, and you know how I got that little icon where you could press use audio. I was able to see about 40-50 people around the country use my song to create a reel. So when I seen that happen, I said, okay, you got to just stay in their face with content. And then as you making the content, you hit them with a jab about your music. Hit them with the link. Catch it here. Trying to make something catchy. Cause like a friend of mine, it only take one.
That's right.
It only take one, and
Yes.
it ain't never
One
too
hit
late.
could change your life,
It
man.
only take
One
one.
hit could change your life, man.
And so that's the
Can I add
advice
on? Can I add on to that?
Yeah,
As
go ahead,
far
bro.
as
Yeah, for
advice,
sure. Yeah.
you have to keep grinding. So, like he said, grinding. When I say grinding, man, video content, music, recording yourself. You don't have to be a music producer, but it can help. It's like it's so many lanes where you can keep chopping that price down to where you can stay more consistent than the next man. A lot of people spending bread on, trying to stay consistent. If you can start learning some of these things, which the younger people is doing, which that I do, I could do video editing, I do my own cover, I do everything myself. I done cut that price down to zero, which can make me stay more consistent than my competitor. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
sir.
If you could do that, man, you winning
That's
with
it.
this content. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You
That's it.
pull your camera out and shoot a little 30-second video and edit that in iMovie.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You don't have to be Final Cut Pro or Premiere or none of that. It can be iMovie, which is in all iPhones.
That's all you need right here, man.
Yeah, which is
That's all you need right
man. You can
here.
make $1 million off your iPhone.
Man. And we come from an era. Remember that we used to be in the studio with the reel to reel. or the DAT
Yeah,
tape.
we come
Now
from a long era to where it used to cost $1 billion, man, to do what we do. You had to do the real that they used to be like, man, hurry up, get that verse done because man, you couldn't do no take after take after take or punch ins or none of that. Man, hurry up and get that done, man, because we running out of tape. You know what I'm saying? And now it's not like that. Like you could just
right.
do it, you know, Logic is a 199 in all Macs.
That's it.
Forever upgrades, you know what I'm saying? And this is game.
That's game.
199 for a Mac. I mean,
Yeah,
get your
Logic.
Mac, 199 for Logic in a Mac, forever upgrades with it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Record yourself, auto punch in, whatever is your
That's
poison.
it.
You like to punch in and do all that, whatever is your poison, do that.
Right.
iPhone, shoot your videos, 30-second videos. You don't have to be spectacular. iMovie, default in iPhone, default in laptops. Consistent content. Push, 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 push. And
Right.
if that's what's happening, then you happening.
That's what's up.
Beautiful. Yes, sir. Our brother, last question for you, Reesematik. We want to know how can we find you on social media and can you let us know about some of your previous projects as well?
You can find me on social media at Reesematik. That's Reesematik. It's all one word. You'll see with a space in between it, but just to let you know, it is one word. Reesematik on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Thread. But I got a project I put out a little about mid this year, To Whom It May Concern, April 18th.
Okay.
Dropped the video, the single, The Hate Is Real, April 1st of 2025 as well. And dope project. It's an EP, man. You know, getting a lot of love from that. I just can't wait for them to hear this album. You know, I'm dropping in 2026. It's getting mixed and mastered right now. It's called Tha Hustla presents Reesematik Volume One. You know, crazy. Big Lee on that thing, shining on the track called Perfect Instrumental. You know, going crazy, man. I'm excited, man. You know, just trying to stay busy and taking my time, but I got everything mapped out. The first single off of the album is called Reese, What's Your Recipe? That's the single.
Okay. Okay.
So it's gonna be a double, video in one, Reese, What's Your Recipe? Then it's gonna blend into another track called Bar Game Heavy. So featuring my guy 3D and my guy Tater Don, it's crazy, man. So got a lot of dope records on the platform, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Tidal. Just type in Reesematik, a lot of my material pop up.
Beautiful. Yes, sir. Well, it's an honor to have you on the podcast. Anybody who's a family, family to Big Lee is a family to us. So this is an extreme honor. Thank you very much for coming on here. Let's make sure we all support you. For you, our brother, Tha Hustla, where can we find you on social media?
Instagram official _ Tha Hustla. That's MOTHA Tha Hustla. Anything else, just type in Tha Hustla, MOTHA YouTube, Tha Hustla, MOTHA. Just dropping music. You know what I'm saying? Just dropped I start from a few weeks. I've been trying to drop like every week singles. I did starting from like a few weeks ago. Out the Mud came out a few weeks ago. You can find it on all platforms. Type in Tha Hustla, MOTHA. I did Me Versus Me. What was the latest? What was the latest I just dropped? I just dropped one maybe about a week ago. Kind of like
Is that the crabs in the crabs in the barrel?
bucket?
Yeah,
Crabs in the bucket. Yep. Featuring you know what I'm saying, my guy, damn man, he did a little poet. Yeah,
SB.
my guy, SB. I call him SB, but he go by something else now.
Okay.
the poet,
Protected poet.
protected poet. My bad, SB. I call you SB. I never call you the protected poet. Shout out to protected poet, my guy
Shout
SB.
out to
Yeah,
him.
we doing a little something different, mixing the rap with the poetry. You know what I mean, and all that. I've been working with him heavy, producing some stuff for him. You know, we trying to shoot for the Grammy in a poetry category, but trying to do something different. But top of the year, 2026, coming with the best story never told. It's the EP. You know,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
co-produced by, my guy up in the UK. You know what I'm saying? And we just trying to keep mashing, man. 2026, man. That's all it's gonna be, man. New music, producing for people, mashing, staying on the gas, trying to do more projects than singles. All last year I did singles. Just trying to do more projects, EPs, projects. Yep, that's it.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
you gotta let them know, not to cut you short, sorry about that, but the Motor Hustler presents Reesematik,
Yeah,
Volume
Motor
1
Hustler
is
presents Reesematik, Volume 1 and 2. Volume 1 coming,
exactly.
but Volume 2 already in the making.
Okay, okay.
You know, I've been
We
shooting
coming
shit
with
to,
it.
I've been shooting it to Big Lee. We on the gas over here, man. Stay tuned. We on the
Yes,
gas
We
over
sir.
ain't
here, man.
playing. We ain't playing.
Yes, sir. Well, we look forward to hearing the project, but of course seeing it as well. And last but certainly not least, our brother who put the whole show together today, Big Lee. I'm
Big
gonna let you
Lee,
know
Big Lee.
what we've been vibing to and riding to in the South and all around the world. But primarily the main two songs I've been listening to off your project is "Feels Different"
Oh,
and "Time Flies." That's
oh,
what
look
I've
at
been. Yeah,
that,
man.
bro.
But we got back to
Hey,
Gentrify. But before I didn't know about Gentrify until you told me about it. But before
okay,
that, I was listening to Bill's Different Time Flies. Now we got
okay,
Gentrified. So let's make sure we all stay up on that.
for sure,
Mm.
man. Thank you, Josh. You just made my day, bro.
Yes, sir. You know, I
Yeah,
told
for
you I
sure.
like your music.
Yeah, thank you, brother. Yeah, I just released that project a couple weeks ago. It's
Yes,
called "We Risk It All," and yeah, that's it. I just really want to get a video done for Gentrified, so me and my guys we could take this message a little further because it ain't about us. It's about the message, but hopefully we could also bring some attention to us as well. So I just got that project rocking, and I got a project out called "The Testimony of a Gentleman." That I did
okay.
that. Yeah, so I got two projects. We Risk It All and The Testimony of a Gentleman. So, and my platforms is Big Lee on Instagram. Yeah, that's it,
Yes,
man.
sir.
I want to thank you so much, Josh, for always just being a brother, man. Every time I call, man, you
Time is mine.
always you take my call. So I really thank you, bro, for just giving us some of your time, bro. I really appreciate you.
Yes, sir. The honor is mine. I told you I'm somebody who always wanted to go to San Francisco to that
No.
area. Even though I never was a part of the Niners game, I
Uh,
always admired y'all fan base. I never got into the. I always like the football team just never lined up. I just never did.
right.
But when T.O. was playing when James Garcia was a quarterback,
Oh, man, you
then I
going
was like,
back?
okay.
Who's your team?
I was a big T.O. fan. So when
Who's your
T.O. was
team?
out there, I was like, hold up, now I got to root for the Niners now because T.O.'s out there. So you know what I'm saying? I was a big T.O. fan.
Who's your
But
team?
I never got a chance to visit. San Francisco. So hopefully I can come and see y'all studios and y'all behind the scene productions and all that good stuff.
We got to get
But
you out here. We keep talking about it, and I ain't pulled it. We got to get you out here, bro. But I think
yes,
Mo had a
sir.
question. I think Mo was asking you something.
Who's your team?
I don't have a team. I got players. I'm from Chicago, so I like the Bears was never good when I was liking them. So I just like players because I can't say the Bears because they keep losing, so that's gonna piss me off. So no, but you know what I'm saying.
Okay.
So I like players.
That's
You know
like
what I'm saying?
saying the Raiders. That's like
I like players. I like players. You know what I'm saying? Because I can't. If I say a team,
Don't do them
people
like
want me to
that.
suffer with them for 10 years and 30 years. I'm not suffering no team for 20 years. No.
Mhm.
But I just want to thank you all. All three of you have made my day and made our day by coming on. This is Joshua Leonard Muhammad signing off for the People's Podcast. Thank you, all three of you. Thank you, Motor Hustler. Thank you,
Thank you for
Big
having
Lee.
us.
And of course, we got to thank Reesematik. I'm
There we
going
go.
to make sure we find you all on social media and listen to your projects. We need
There you
this
go.
Oh yeah,
information to inspiration.
the project's crazy. Thank you, Joshua Muhammad, for the interview, man.
Thank you,
Appreciate
sir.
you.
All right, Josh, I'll be in touch. Thank you, brother.
Thank you all for watching.
All right, yes, sir.
All right.